How are you, my lovely people? This is Sparksy, and here with my first proper gaming video update. In this video, I will be going to be talking to you about the current news on what we know so far with Revelation WoW. So, with that said, let's jump right into the video! So as we know, guys, we are unfortunately under the effects of being postponed once again after the official launch was postponed on the 15th of January this month in 2022. But once again, it was postponed with the delay launch of the 21st, which I know had a lot of people upset and furious with this outcome. But as we all know, some things cannot be helped, and the devs are wanting us to get this out as soon as they can without a hitch, without that, or everything being such a pain. With that said, they have delayed it after the 21st to a date that we have yet to know. We don't know what it is yet at all. The only information that we are currently given that it shall be somewhere during the week after the 21st. I personally think that keeping the audience out of the loop and not giving an actual date whilst they're currently fixing on all the bugs and knickknacks with the classes crashing for the servers, thanks Paladin Undead, is a good idea for the devs, in my opinion, as it avoids people to have an expectation for what to expect and to expect a time. So if they were to delay again and they promised this date to be this, like, oh, we're gonna put it up here, and it doesn't happen. I feel like that's a good idea because that avoids people getting mad and getting more flames for not having the game launched on the date it was promised. I think that's a good idea for the devs, and it gives them more time to focus on getting everything fixed for all of us. Now, during this time, in their latest announcement, for those who are still wondering and still haven't finished downloading the game, they have stated in their announcements that all of the launcher will still be available, and you will be able to finish up your download that you have yet to complete. Whether there will be more patches during the week, I'm sure there will be over the course of this week. So if any of you are still not able to download what we were able to download from the beginning of the launch, do not worry, you can still do that whilst they're currently working on the patches. Now, we all know that everyone downloading the same file from the servers can be really straining for servers. As they stated, they were pushing out 3.5 petabytes worth of files of the same thing for people trying to download this. Now, putting it in perspective, 1 petabyte is 1 million gigabyte. So imagine having to push out 3,500,000 gigabytes. 3,500,000 gigabytes. That is pretty freaking intense, if you ask me. I didn't even realize what petabyte was. I didn't realize that was a thing. But all in all, guys, at the end of the day, we will get this server launched out eventually soon, and they will get it all done. But at the meantime, we still don't currently have a date on when that will be launched. And I think, again, that is a good idea for the devs to do that. It doesn't give them a high expectation, and it doesn't mean they have to do it by a deadline and make them in a panic. So what do we know regarding on the passives of the races that we can pick and the new races for the mutuals? Well, first up, we are going to jump into the Murlocs. So with the current look on the Murlocs in classes, at first glimpse, the Murlocs were able to be the Warrior, Hunter, Rogue, Shaman, Mage, and the Priest. This may be wrong, because some folks were not seeing all of the classes lighting up on their characters when creating a character with their respectable classes. For example, the Hunter, I couldn't personally see the Hunter, but the devs had confirmed that the Murlocs will be Hunters in the game. So there might be a few bugs. There might be some more races with more classes yet to come, but at the moment we do not know, but this is what we currently have. Now on the Tuskars, we know that they will be Druids. That was definitely confirmed, as well as Warriors, Paladins, and Priest. So they only have the same amount of classes that they can be, like the Gnomes, and I believe the Tauren. I think they were only 4, but unfortunately that's all they have. But as well as additional classes, as we already know, for the classic races. We already know that the undead is also going to be paladin, but from what we able to see, there were no additional classes for any of the races to maybe balance the accessibility for the paladins and the shaman for both factions. See, I was actually surprised to the fact that there were no more alliance races able to be shamans, because at the moment, from what we could see, they are only able to be a Murloc shaman, whereas the horde could be an undead paladin and a Tuskar paladin. Now, for me, I feel like that's a bit on the flippy side, as well as the fact that shamans for the horde, they can be troll, orc, tauren, and now Murloc. So that's 4 different classes, and the alliance can only be Murloc shamans. So for me personally, I was surprised. For the alliance, I was actually surprised that they did not pick any more for shamans. So a good pick for me personally would have been the dwarves to be shamans, like Blizzard did back in Cataclysm. So a lot of people were wondering which racial passes we would be able to choose to swap out, because we all know that we can all choose a different passive for our races. So for example, if you wanted to be a human with War Stomp, you can. Now, unfortunately, we were only able to see the vanilla racial abilities that you were able to pick. So, for example, we have the humans, we have the gnomes, the dwarfs, and the night elves for the alliance. And then we also would have the orcs, trolls, taurens, and undead for the horde. Now, that also means that we do not know if the goblin racial active or the worgen racial active is there ready for us. I don't think it is, but I will say, I would think it would be hilarious to pick a racial worgen, having it be in the mount to all 4s. I don't know why, but personally, it would have been hilarious to see an itty bitty gnome running on all 4s. The animation in my mind would have been ridiculous for the best reasons alone. But unfortunately, guys, that's all I currently got, folks, for the update of this video. I'm sure there is a lot of information that I have missed out. For example, the passive of the Tuskars are Murlocs, but unfortunately, myself and my folks were unable to actually get into the game far enough to look at the passives for the new races, but I'm sure they will be soon to come for all of us, and eventually we will all be able to play Revelations WoW, hopefully sometime this week, which, fingers crossed, we all hope they can do it. I have very, very high hopes for the devs, and I feel I could definitely pull this off. But with that said, guys, if you did like this video, and if you wanted any more, go ahead and like this video, and it definitely helps me with my content. And if you want to see more Revelations WoW in the future, which I will be doing, if you want to go ahead and hit the subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for where I will be streaming live, and obviously, of course, making my pre-made videos. And until next time, guys, bye!